Mifflin Park, it's Mrs. Holgate. I just wanted to share with you a website here that I've found and enjoyed with my own son from the Art Institute of Chicago. The Art Institute of Chicago is Chicago's art museum, just like we have the Philadelphia Museum of Art near us. When I was a little girl growing up in Illinois and we went to the big city of Chicago, we oftentimes tried to get a stop in at the Art Institute because I loved exploring and seeing all the amazing works of art. On this website, it is linked in my description of this post, but on this website, you'll find a kids section. And so where I am, if you see up here on the top, is archive.arctic.edu/cc/. So the Arctic is Art, A-R-T, and then I-C is Institute of Chicago. So that's what that is, not meaning like the Arctic tundra or anything. So anyway, on this site, there are a series of different activities for you. There's a section of story time where you can open up one of 3 books, and the books are written about famous works of art. So like St. George and the Dragon is a story about a painting of St. George. And as you scroll through the book, you encounter portions of the painting. So that first scene was right there, and now they've kind of expanded out to show more of the scene as the story is told. So as you go through the story, there's a little bit of animation, nothing major, but you can kind of see the story take place through the whole story, through the whole book. So that's the first segment. There's 3 books there that you could explore. The next segment is Matchup. In Matchup, you can go to any one of the 3 segments here. There's one match texture, one match shape, and one match sound. I've told you many times that pictures often tell stories. And so when a story is told, often there's sound that goes along. So when you look at a painting like this shown in the picture, you can almost imagine the sound of all the instruments playing and the woman singing and the animals making noise on the floor. So you click on one of the sound features and try to match it up with what instrument or person or animal you think is making that sound. So for example, if I click this one, I know that's a violin. You might not know it's a violin, but if you go to the different instruments that you see there, you can try to place it and match it up with the violin. So you just simply pick up the piece and put it on the violin. It's kind of hidden back here, but that was the violin. Okay, so that's that segment. And you could do any one of those 3 or all 3 of them. And then the last segment here is Play with Art. And one part is on portraits, another on making a mask. And the first one there listed is the Cornell boxes. And that's the one I want you to try to explore here. Cornell boxes, it gives you a description here once it opens up, and it says a curious collection. Museums collect beautiful and mysterious things and display them in rooms called galleries. The artist Joseph Cornell also collected wondrous and mysterious things and displayed them in boxes, drawers, shelves, and windows. Cornell created connections between all kinds of experiences and objects and tried to make these connections visual in his boxes. Now it's your turn to see what connections you can make. And so this is just an example of one of Cornell's boxes. So series of objects that are put together in a box for a viewer to see. Maybe it tells a story. Maybe it describes a moment in his time. Think of it like shadow boxes. If your family members ever made a shadow box where you put together different memories that are important to you and put them together, sometimes for like the birth of a baby or a wedding or a sporting event, that sort of thing. So you hit next. And in this area to the left of the box, you have tons of choices to fill your box. So if you could tell a story about you or an experience that you've had through these different items. So the everyday, I click on this. There's some thimbles, a clothespin, glasses. You can look around and see what sorts of things you want to tell a story. Could be decorative though. So here we have some different, they call them globes here. I think that looks like a marble to me, and some colorful stones and pebbles and things. vessels. It's nice to create height in your design. So if you picked up, say, this jar of sand and you were doing something about that you wanted to show about a trip to the ocean, and then you picked up some shells. It could be a story of you going to the beach. Wings and things, those butterflies, maybe when you were in, say, Cape May, you went on a wildflower tour, and while you were on the wildflower tour, you caught a glimpse of some different butterflies. And so you can incorporate them in there. Objects of chance, you know, if you had a rainy night at the hotel or the beach house that you stayed in, or camping, in my case of my family, maybe you had played some games of like Farkle. I don't know if anyone's ever played Farkle, but that's a popular game in our family. And then beautiful strangers. Boy, I don't think I see anything about a beach in that, but maybe you do. Of the air, sorry. Oh, look at this. So maybe when you went onto that nature hike, in addition to the wonderful butterflies you saw, maybe you saw some birds. Did you go fishing? Is that what that is? That's not what that is. I thought it was a fish's scale. That is a whole scene of many things. So if that appeals to you, you can put it in. If you don't, you can put it back. I don't think we want to put someone falling off a cliff in that. So you kind of see what is appealing to you, and you can place it into your box. Let me get that bird all the way in there. Did you write a lot of letters and send them away? Send them in postcards, and you could put that in. Whatever you think relates to you, you may put that into your box. Unfortunately, there's not a feature to print these. It's more of, you know, explore and make. But if you're so inclined, you probably know on your Chromebooks how to create a screenshot. I don't know on your Chromebooks how to create a screenshot, but I would love to see your screenshots, and you can send them my way through messaging on Dojo. Thanks so much, boys and girls. I hope you enjoy this website and explore it a little more, just to understand a little more that art is not just making, but it's also experiencing pieces of art and connecting with pieces of art. And then, of course, obviously, the making of the art. So get yourself into the art mindset, and have a great week, boys and girls. Thank you.